All right, let's head over to the wide receiver position. This week, you like Russ, so do you like any of his receivers?
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Lockett has been okay, but DK Metcalf has been a dud. I mean, he has scored 11 or fewer fantasy points in 4 straight games, including 3 games with no more than 7.1. I mean, this is DK Metcalf, for crying out loud. But this is the week, Jen. If he can't do it this week, he's not going to do it. Mm-hmm. The Texans have allowed the most fantasy points to receivers lined out wide this season. I think this is a get-right game for the Seahawks passing game, maybe not the backfield. So start DK Metcalf. I think most people probably would be doing that already, but I want to give people a little assurance. He has been bad lately. This is a great matchup. And then let's talk about Tee Higgins, because we don't talk enough about Tee Higgins, because all we do is talk about Jamar Chase. Well, over the last month, Tee Higgins has been a far superior fantasy wide receiver in the Queen City. I like the matchup this week against the Niners. They have given up 4 touchdowns and the 5th most fantasy points per game to wide receivers since week 10. So Tee Higgins should be in your lineup. I have him ranked ahead of Jamar this week. I also like DJ Moore against Atlanta, and Hunter Renfrow, who's become almost a must start this week. He's got the Chiefs.
I love those calls. Tee Higgins, just the eye test. You watch that guy play. He's phenomenal. I am not letting another season go by without Tee Higgins on one of my teams. I also want to point out that you like Mike Williams this week, and we should all keep our eye on Keenan Allen to see whether or not he clears COVID protocols. But even if Keenan Allen clears, I think Mike Williams is a start, yeah?
Yes.
Versus the Giants?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
The Giants are a mess.
Yeah, they're totally a mess. All right, as far as sitting, all right, our guy, we love him. Every week we usually start him, but is this finally the week that we should maybe consider not starting Brandin Cooks?
Yeah, you probably do have to play him. I mean, unless you're really deep at wide receiver. But, I mean, his numbers have not been good. He's failed to score more than 11.6 fantasy points in 3 of his last 4 games. He's had single digits in 2 games, which is terrible. And now the Texans are going to play Davis Mills. And that's not good either. And Seattle's defense has allowed the 3rd fewest fantasy points per game to receivers lined out wide. So, I mean, you look at Seattle, they just lost Jamal Adams, so that's a benefit for the Texans' offensive skill position players. But still, the matchup is not great, at least on paper. So Brandin Cooks is a fade for me. And then Courtland Sutton. They paid him to maybe have like 4 fantasy points a game. I have no idea what's going on with Courtland Sutton. But I do know this. Since Jerry Jeudy has come back, Courtland Sutton has seen an 11% target share. 11. That's terrible. I can't trust him. And people may want to put him into their lineups because they're playing the Lions. So maybe he's a desperation flex. But folks, that's all he is at this point. Courtland Sutton has not been involved in the Broncos passing game since Jeudy came back from injury. I'm also benching Kenny Golladay and every Giants wide receiver. And then Cole Beasley has disappeared since Dawson Knox returned to the lineup. I would sit him against the Buccaneers.